Welcome to Regiment on the Run. This is a D&D 5th edition campaign. It is being run for 3 players. Those players are Becky, Shoggy, and Zach. Go ahead and say hello, everyone.
I'm Zach, and I'm playing Zan because Z is the best character, or best letter. An Aarakocra monk in the regiment.
And I'm Shoggy, and I'll be playing Boat Murderer, a Dwarven engineer in this regiment.
And me, Becky, I am playing Terlock, or Terry, he prefers Terry, an elven bard, being the political diplomat of the group.
All right. And just for the folks of you viewing at home, these games are heavily homebrewed and use a lot of my own custom mechanics. The number one thing to keep in mind is that every turn, everyone gets 2 standard actions, and healing magic is very much not a thing in this setting. The setting, by the way, is called Vigas. It is something that I have been working on for most of my life by this point, and this is the latest campaign set in it. The main premise of the world is that this is a world full of strange, fantastical bullshit, and unfortunately, as is the case sometimes in fantasy worlds, the magic has gone away. People do not recover spell slots anymore. However, the wonderful, wonderful island nation of Enikos, the wonderful empire who is bringing enlightenment to all the high seas, has rediscovered how to make magic energy by processing the souls of the dead. And everyone here is, in some way, in the employ of the Empire of Enikos. It is a fantastic time. So, let's go ahead and do some scene setting. So, we are on a great expedition into the Vigan mainland. The island of Enikos has finally launched a conquest force that will go onto the Vigan mainlands and show everyone how uncivilized they're being by not being under their rule. So, let's go around the table once more and have everyone say what they're doing. Let's start with Ert. Ert, you have been assigned to look over the runes and technology that are on this mission, and especially the runic pylon, which is your personal pet project. So, how are you feeling on this expedition so far?
Ert got to see a level 2 spell yesterday. This has been amazing.
It's true. There are indeed level 2 spells here.
But this place is an amazing test bed. Ert has been stuck back at home making just really obscure prestidigitation runes to make people's feet less smelly. And that sucked. And this is amazing. And sure, he's surrounded by smelly humans, but that's okay.
Just wait until he sees a level 3 spell.
Oh, just you wait.
Fireball, eat your heart out.
And meanwhile, we also have Terry. Terry, how are you doing on this wonderful expedition?
Terry's okay. I mean, he hasn't really had to do much beyond talk to Captain Raid a lot.
Terry, do you have something on your mind?
Well, nothing that he would want to say out loud.
I see. Are you implying that Terry might have some sort of hidden agenda?
Nothing that will hurt the party.
Sure.
The party appreciates this.
Ert expects no better of an elf.
As we all know, elves and Eldar are old dicks.
Just don't call Terry a knife ear to his face.
Say it to his ears instead.
Terry might knife your ears. Anyway, let's head on over to Zan, the last member of the party. So, Zan, you are not actually just a rank-and-file soldier or officer, are you?
No, Zan is a mercenary, part of a team of mercenaries that you'll see on the screen that got hired on by the Empire to be sort of a combat reconnaissance team, kind of an addition to their Imperial forces, and kind of sent in to get a lay of the land or a battlefield before combat. So he's working for the Empire, but not a member of, not from the Empire, and just kind of doing, in it for the money and in it for his own guys.
which would probably be a little bit more, easy to do if they weren't set on expending your guys in needless combat. But,
Yeah, there used to be 8 of us. Now there's 5 of us. That's a problem.
that is indeed a problem.
It's
So,
okay. They live on in these level 0 cantrip runes.
you see, we summoned a turkey leg.
Yeah. I don't think the pylon was on when my guys bit it. I don't think we were close enough.
Are you sure? Well,
I'm not sure. Ert knows how this works. Dan doesn't know how this works.
Regretfully admits he couldn't get the pylon close enough in time, so their souls went to waste. Or heaven, but probably waste.
one of those.
Zan is
Terry
probably okay
overheard
with
that.
this.
You would hear a very sarcastic, "Oh no."
Zan shares Terry's sentiment.
Now then, Zan, you are coming back to report in with the CRT squad, and of course, pass along all the findings to Captain Raid. York, Pep, Farron, and Zara are all here, and they're all telling you that there are some rather odd reports.
What kind of reports?
York speaks up and he says, "Doesn't look like there's anyone for miles. It's just like it's abandoned. I would say it's too quiet, but it is never too quiet. This is suspicious quiet, though."
All right. Zan is going to move towards Captain Raid to relay that information that there's not a lot of... We're talking about enemy movements, right? So we're not seeing any enemies around the area?
Nope. However, Captain Raid has an odd expression on his face. His head is tilted.
Zan walks up, sees Ert as well, says, "Hey, Captain, I'm here for the report."
Captain Raid does not immediately respond.
Ert knows how to fix this. Ert's going to walk up and give him a poke with his poking hammer.
All right, Ert, you give him a poke, and Captain Raid topples over forwards. Zan can see, apparently his throat was cut.
Okay. This is the guy that's supposed to pay me. Ert, did you see what happened?
Ert's just honestly really confused with how he was standing upright.
Fair enough. Zan rushes back over to the CRT and explains to them that our employer is now dead.
There's a chorus from all of them, to the extent of, "Fuck!"
Yeah, we were just about to get paid too. With everyone, Zan's a little suspect of everyone kind of disappearing, like the enemy not showing themselves, and the captain just dying at the same time. So he tells the rest of the CRT, like, "Hey, we probably want to get out of here pretty soon. Something bad's about to happen. We just lost our commanding officer, and we don't see the enemy. Smells like an attack's coming. You guys, let's try to find a way out of here. Scout for a way out. I'm gonna see if I can track down the guy who knocked off the captain and see if I can get any information from him."
York gives a gruff nod and insists that you can leave it to the lot of them. "You trust us. We find good line and retreat."
We're good at finding things in general. I trust you with my life.
And with that, the CRT squad is going to exit stage right.
Ert has good news and bad news.
What's the good news?
The good news is he's got all of the captain's rune, and the pylon was on when the captain bit it. The bad news is none of the gold is there.
None of the gold is here. Okay.
Yeah, you know the little coins. You use them for stuff because you're primitive.
Yes. We are very primitive, Ert. Thank you for reminding us. Zan's gonna go ahead and... So you already patted down the captain?
I mean, I got all the good stuff.
Did you get his ID, his badge?
That was a rune.
Okay, cool.
If you want to hunt for specific items or clues, you may go ahead and roll me a perception or investigation check.
Yeah, I was about to ask for that. I'm gonna go for... Zan's gonna go for a perception check. Ooh, starting strong with an 8.
All right, Zan, you're not sure how exactly this death happened. It looked like someone had to be close up in order to cut his throat, and there's no sign of a knife being anywhere around here, but you're pretty sure that people don't just spontaneously open up slashes in their throats, right?
Yeah, I've not seen that happen before.
Unless this is a human thing. Ert. Ooh. Okay, Ert. You pat down Captain Raid, and you find that there are signs of some spell work around here. Because there are footprints, but nobody around has actually seen anything. Captain Raid just sort of stopped in the middle of the march, looked a bit strange, and then fell over.
Okay, boys and girls, we are looking for either an invisibility spell or a hold still while your throat is slashed spell. We're looking for both those, actually.
Did you see where he went?
Well, there is a set of footprints, but that's not particularly helpful. The entire army is out here.
Well, in Ert's opinion, what we need to do is, Ert pokes the bird. Do bird things.
The bird looks down at Ert, stretches his wings, flexes them a little bit, and starts doing bird things. Flies straight up 30 feet, takes a look around for anything, like any group of buildings, any people that look suspicious, anything in the nearby area, in the direction that Ert points for where the footprints were going.
Okay. If you would like, you may go ahead and roll me a survival in order to follow the trail.
Survival. That would be a 20. Staying alive, baby.
So while the bird's up in the air, Ert is going to be handing the officer's tablet over to Terry.
Terry wasn't even watching or hearing you guys. He looks a little confused as you hand over the tablet. Before you walk off, Terry is asking why you just gave him the captain's tablet.
Zan hears this, flies down after he gets a good eye of the surrounding area, and just tells Terry, "Captain's dead. We need to get moving."
I'm just, okay then. And
I mean, Ert's not here to take command. Ert has enough trouble just keeping all the runes filled up for everyone. And if we're going to be bugging out, Ert's going to need about 10 of these guys to get the pylon and get it ready to move.
and that's fine. While you guys are doing that, Terry's gonna make a call.
Aren't you going to tell the soldiers what to do? I don't tell the soldiers what to do.
Well, yes, I guess he's gonna have to deal with that, him and Ert. But he's going to make a quick call. He's gonna get a hold of Danwald.
Okay, Terry, you get a hold of Danwald, an officer who's actually in the logistics side of things. And Danwald is in a complete panic because there have been reports from all sorts of different regiments about their commanders suddenly keeling over dead from various causes. According to him, there's a coordinated attack happening right now, and they're targeting officers.
Terry has realized with Captain Raid dead, he is probably now a new officer. He's gonna tell Danwald that he just needs him to check up on the status of all of these different troops here on the mainland. Like, what's the Empire saying about them? Just as a little favor to Terry.
Danwald says that he'll keep it in mind and he'll get back to you later.
That is all right. Take your time. We'll move to safety.
Okay. Meanwhile, Ert, you have a communications tablet that is connected to a whole bunch of other parts of the invasion force, using the wonderful magic of message runes. And it is currently blowing the fuck up. All sorts of changes in command are happening right now. Basically what Terry just got.
Ert just takes silent pride in the fact that the org chart is automatically updating like it's supposed to. They all told him those sense life runes were useless. But look who's laughing now.
Not Captain Raid.
Oh yeah, invisibility rune. Let's go, bird boy.
All right, Zan, are you going to initiate the pursuit?
Yes, right before Zan does that, he looks back at the troops, looks at Terry, asks Terry, "Hey, you coming along?"
Terry, I'll be there in a second. He's going to tell the troops that they need to get ready to mobilize, like now.
Yep, all the runes, all the crystals.
Get it ready.
All the gear, get ready to go. All right. Hearing that from Terry, Zan starts going in the direction that he thinks the assassin went.
All right. And what are your standing orders to all your soldiers? Because they are looking rather worried right about now.
Oh, the
Sure.
CRT group or the soldiers?
The soldiers.
Oh, Becky just
Like
gave
what
that.
Terry said, get ready to mobilize.
Okay, they are ready to mobilize. Should they be following you, sir?
Terry thinks for a minute, but then looks over to Ert and Zan and just, yeah, I guess it'll have to be me.
Zan walks over to Terry and calls out to the troops and says, just like Terry said, get ready to move. Don't follow us. We're tracking the assassin. When my guys get back, when the CRT gets back, follow them. They're looking for a safe route out.
Okay, this order is accepted. They seem to trust Zan's word.
It's because I'm a bird. Bird's the word.
I hate you.
Disadvantage for 1,000 years.
Indeed.
Joke's
All
on you,
right,
Eric. Hopefully I don't live that long.
Yeah.
With that in mind, we are going to transition over to the holding page because it is now time for a group of skill challenges. This is a mechanic we're going to be using throughout the game. During certain sequences, we will not be working on initiative order. We'll just be handling a bunch of miscellaneous challenges. So this challenge is to follow the assassin who killed Captain Raid. The DC for the check is 12, and you can say what type of skill you want to try and use. Let's go around the table and see if anyone has an idea. The criteria for success is 1 success. The criteria for failure is 2 failures. Again, the DC is 12.
Ert doesn't do this sort of shit. Ert is just staring at Zan. You want a guidance rune? I got a guidance rune.
Zan looks at Ert for a little bit, kind of sighs a little bit, flies up in the air, says, "I'll pass on the guidance for now, but I might come back for it later." Flies up in the air and does another scan with his sharp avian eyesight to see if he can spot out the assassin or a location that looks like it might be a hideout in the nearby area.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a perception for that one.
All right, perception. Ooh, I got exactly a 12.
Roll again.
Oh, right, I forgot. Rolling
Homebrew.
again.
We don't do success or failure on matching. We do roll agains.
17.
All right, you managed to follow the trail, and you're keeping in good time. So, Terry and Ert and Zan are all going to be on the map with the assassin.
I love being with assassins.
I know, right? So, you have cornered the rogue, who appears to be charging for safety in an old abandoned watchtower that was marked cleared by several scouting squads. You have managed to get him before he's worked his way into cover. He is running for his life. The invisibility has apparently worn off. And now it is time for you to decide what to do.
Get him.
Agreed. I pull out my longbow and knock an arrow.
All right, and with that, we are transitioning over into initiative. Okay, so everyone go ahead and roll initiative.
That's pretty good, honestly. 16, 15, 13.
Yeah, not bad at all.
A whole bunch of people on the turn order. Heck. All right, let's see what we got.
They get a nat 20. Watch.
14.
Oh, 16, 15, 14, 13. That's pretty dope.
I know, we got a straight.
Got a flush. Anyone?
And Terry is last.
Okay, so Zan, you have knocked your longbow. The assassin is sprinting for cover and has not seen the pursuit yet.
He's about to feel the pursuit.
Oh boy, go ahead and roll me the attack.
Yeah, he's gonna probably take 2, but we'll start with 1.
Ert tells you to aim for the tail.
Zan aims for the torso because he'd much rather drop the guy, not trying to go through the heart, but trying to go through a lung to stop him from being able to sprint.
Vicious.
Hey, that's what I'm paid for. I rolled a 19 to hit.
That is a hit.
I did 11 damage. That was good.
Okay.
I got a 7 on that D8. That's good.
All right. The assassin is not looking too hot. They are staggering, clearly very injured. Are you going to follow up with another attack?
Yes. The torso hit seemed to go pretty well. I don't want to kill the guy because I have questions for him, so I'm now going to try to put an arrow through his leg.
Okay.
Here's another one. Ooh, 11.
That is a miss, which means that it is now time for Urt.
Urt thinks you should have taken a guidance rune. Okay.
Zan agrees.
Well, let's see. I think it's time for expeditious retreat.
Okay. So, you are able to move up to your speed as a bonus action. What is your speed, Urt?
Urt is a dwarf, so 25.
Okay, which means that you can get all the way to him.
So a very fast, greased-up dwarf has just suddenly become in melee range.
That's how it goes.
And so, do I still get an attack action on this turn?
You still have both of your standard actions because casting Expeditious Retreat is a bonus action.
Ah, it is a bonus cast. Well, then I'm going to whap him with a hammer.
Go ahead and
As
roll it.
one does.
AC is 12.
Oof.
That is
It
a
did
miss.
not work.
You still have one standard action.
Get
From
him,
my
Urt.
other Warhammer.
Right, there's 2. I forgot.
Okay, you've bapped him. He's looking pretty injured, but he is not yet down. And it is now the assassin's turn, and the assassin is looking at you, and, Zan and Urt and Terry, with an expression that could be generously described as absolute pants-shitting terror.
Well then.
The assassin is going to use a cunning action and dive for cover in order to hide from you. This is a stealth check against your passive perception.
All of ours?
Yes, everyone's passive perception. I think the only one that the assassin might not be beating is Zan.
With passive perception.
So, passive perception for Urt is 11?
He beats me. I have a 16.
11.
So the assassin has disappeared from sight, but you do hear scrambling towards the tower. Terry, it is now your turn.
Terry doesn't think we have time for actual fighting. So, using up both his actions. Where's his speed? Oh, we didn't write it down, but I think it's a base 30 for
Yeah, I think elves are base 30.
I thought it was base 30 for just about everybody.
Yep.
If you're not short, like some people.
Urt and Sissy's normal sized.
So I'm gonna have Terry come up to the crossroad here. That will take up both his actions.
Okay, Terry, roll me a perception check as you go.
Oof.
Well, he sees nothing.
And now roll me a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
Come on, Terry. Don't die in the first session.
There's the saves. 12.
Okay, that is on the nose. I'm going to need you to roll again.
Oh boy. 21.
Hey, look at that.
Okay, so as you were about to approach, you notice at just the right moment that there was in fact a trap in your path. You dodge out of the way just in time in order to not get your leg stuck in a snare.
All right then.
I'm going to have your movement end there because of the snare. So, do you want to do anything with a bonus action, or are you going to keep the turn order going?
Have Terry call out that he's not looking for a fight? He just wants answers?
Urt calls out that he's looking for any spells they got on them.
There are a variety of profanities thrown back at the party. Most notably, if you're not looking for a fight, why does one of our guys have an arrow and a hammer wound?
Because I missed my second arrow shot.
Terry responds, because the other 2 people in my team right now are idiots.
Strangely, this is not persuasive. Zan's turn. They are most likely forted up in the tower, based on all the shouting. You know, not very stealthy of them.
Zan takes a little bit of offense to being called an idiot, but he's pretty far away. Does he see anybody at this range?
Roll me a perception check if you want to try spotting someone.
All right. Does this count as an action, or is this just a
This is a bonus action.
bonus action? Okay. Perception. Natural 20 for 26.
Okay. You spot all four of these bastards. They're all holed up in here. One of them is desperately trying to bandage the wounds on the other assassin. The other two look like they are in the midst of panic, and they appear to be fumbling for some empty potion bottles.
Empty potion bottles. Okay. Zan, how far away am I from the wounded assassin?
You are 60 feet
Ooh.
from the wounded assassin. So
Easy peasy. I got 150 range on my longbow and 600 for the disadvantage. So 150 before I go into disadvantage. So
How many times you guys have both heard Terry say he's trying not to fight these guys, and yet you guys are like, no, we're still gonna fight them.
I haven't
They
said
killed
what
our
I'm
boss!
doing yet. I haven't said nothing yet. So I'm 60 feet away. That's well within my longbow range. I nock an arrow. I aim it at the wounded guy that already has an arrow sticking out of him. And I call out to the other guys, if you don't surrender right now, I'm putting an arrow through this guy's eye socket.
roll me an intimidate.
Once again, I'm really good at charisma checks, guys. This is going to be great.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
14. It's not as bad as I thought. It's 15 minus 1.
Okay. The assassins look out to you all, realize that their cover is blown, and they say, "What's in it for us?"
Your life?
You probably weren't going to give that to us anyway.
I'm giving it to you now if you surrender and tell us what's going on.
All right. The moment is teetering. Would anyone else like to chime in?
Could Terry chime in with a persuasion check?
Go ahead.
Well,
Terry is neither helping or harming at the moment. He's a little out of breath from all the running and almost getting stuck in a snare. Ert, do you actually have an opinion?
Ert's just gonna shove everyone out of the way and announce that he is willing to trade up to 3 cantrip-level runes for any scrolls they got.
Oh, fucking God.
Oh,
very
boy.
single-minded, our dwarven friend.
Quite.
Ert, I will have you roll me a persuasion check.
Amazing.
That's with a -1. Yeah.
Yep.
The dice are spicy today, apparently. Okay, the assassins think about this, and one of them says, "Best we got is a couple of potions. If you can make use of those, we'll deal."
Ert declares he's not interested anymore and just leaves.
Oh my fucking God.
Zan calls out to Ert and says, get your short, bald head back in there and get some information for us really fast.
Okay, Ert has been yelled at to come up and talk to you guys. So you better have something that's worth 3 cantrip-level runes.
The assassin says they do have one scroll that they can barter for you. But the thing is, what they want, along with these cantrip runes, is they want the ability to leave without any of you taking a pot shot at them.
Look, did you guys want to ask some questions or something?
Zan kind of motions to Terry and says, help the dwarf with the negotiating, please.
Terry will walk over.
All right, Terry, as you walk over and you get a good look at the rogues, one of them kind of tickles at your memory. You might have heard of one of these guys.
His eyes narrow, and he checks a little list on his clipboard and looks back up and just, Jochi.
One of the rogues jerks in surprise and says, "Ah, shit."
Well then, at least I know one of you is willing to be a little more cooperative. What is going on?
Jochi looks around in a panic. His friends are looking to him in deep suspicion. Jochi holds up his hands and says, "Look, man, it wasn't me. I'm not playing both sides of this, okay? I just got a couple of job offers. And one of the job offers was from some guys who really didn't like this whole invasion force thing. And some of the other job offers might have been from, the invasion force." One of his friends comments that sounds an awful lot like playing both sides.
Terry just waves a hand and goes, "He never took any of the offers anyways."
Jochi sighs in relief. Meanwhile, all the other rogues are getting into an extremely petty argument before the one who has been shot insists that we get back on track because he's been shot.
Zan, 60 feet away, with an arrow drawn, pointed at the guy who's complaining about being shot, loudly agrees and says, "Can we finish this up before my arm gets tired and I shoot him a second time?"
Just Terry, you can let go of it.
If I let go of it, it's going to go through his eye socket.
It's called putting it away, not firing.
Oh, that's what you meant. Zan had no idea, he says sarcastically.
Ert assures Terry bird people are sort of like that. You have to explain everything.
I'm not liking where this is going.
Terry just looks to Ert and goes, "There's quite a few others, and race is not the reason." Looks back to the others, especially Jochi, and goes, "Now please tell us what's going on, and I'll let all of you go."
Joshi steps forward looking very nervous, and he says, "Look, it's just... Look, the payout for this mission is kind of high, based on my usual rates and whatnot. The thing is that we were all hired to go in and attack targets of opportunity, and then get the hell out of here before the next strike happens."
And you don't happen to know when the next strike is, do you?
We're on a fucking timetable. We got 2 minutes to get out of Dodge before something hits.
Oh.
Ert just starts running.
And just Terry looks at all of them for a minute and blinks and goes, "No, it's okay. You don't have to worry about us. You run. We'll be running too."
Joshi looks a little bit squinty. Terry, go ahead and roll an insight roll if you like.
Boop. 19.
There is something very important that you need him to tell you before you go. How is the strike being organized?
Yeah, Terry will ask that. And if he doesn't answer right away, I will use a hook.
Okay. Jochi looks a little bit hesitant. Terry, you will have to call in that hook.
All right, then I do so.
Jochi, panicking, stammers that all of them were given some sort of targeting thing that they were supposed to put on the big machines that you guys are lugging around. He put on 2. He had to discard the other ones because apparently that's how they're aiming their spells.
Ah, good. Wonderful. Thank you, Joshi. Don't you worry. Me and my brigade will not be targeting you and your friends.
Jochi looks relieved.
Ert just runs back and grabs the elf.
Terry looks down to Ert and goes, "Will you let go?
Ert
I
picks up
am
Terry.
coming. If you don't let me go, I'm not going to tell you what I just learned about your precious pylon."
Ert's okay with that. Let's roll. Oh,
Is Ert dragging Terry?
Ert can carry you.
Yeah, Ert's strong. He's actually got the highest strength score of the party.
It dwarfs, man.
Dude, I got expeditious retreat and the high end strength skill. I am a motor car.
I guess we're moving on to the next map then.
Indeed.
Zan relaxes his arrow and kind of, while doing so, just kind of stares at Terry like, "Yes, I do know how to remove an arrow, how to unknock an arrow without shooting it."
So expeditious retreat obviously fell off at some point during that run back.
Yes. Zan and Ert are feeling a little bit winded. Terry, even though the ride was undignified, it was admittedly fast and comfortable.
Terry doesn't have. Terry's not winded at all.
Okay. What's with the pylon?
It's just Terry. They put a homing beacon on it.
Oh, shit.
Terry looks to Dan while Urt is now distracted and goes, "All right, well, he's dealing with that. Let's get the troops. And as soon as your crew comes, we're getting out of here."
Agreed. And Zan goes to scan to see if his guys have come back yet.
All right, Zan, go ahead and roll me a perception. Urt, go ahead and roll me an investigation with disadvantage.
Oof.
It's almost like being out of breath and carrying an elf wins you or something.
It had no effect because I am a dwarf.
Zan got 22 on his perception.
All right, Urt, you haven't found the targeting system yet. You are getting...
There we go.
Okay, but that's Arcana, not investigation.
Yeah, that's what you use the Rune of Detect Magic for.
Okay,
Oh,
you use the Rune of Detect Magic? Boy, howdy, there sure is magic!
Shit.
Who knew that the magical pylon full of magic had magic in it?
Meanwhile, Zan, you have spotted Pep hustling up toward you, looking panicked. She hustles up and says, "Zan, thank God I found you. Okay, listen, we got a line of retreat, but we need to act on it now. There's only one route out of here. They're starting to hit us with some crazy big forces of, I don't even know what the fuck."
All right, let's get going. You have a way out, you said?
Yeah, Pep says she has a way out, but she looks back to all the other troops and says, "Are you just going to leave him here?"
No, they're coming with.
Pep looks to you and says, "You going to give that order?"
Yes. Well, first I say, Pep, go help Urt with the pylon, and then I go back to the soldiers and say, hey, everyone, we're leaving.
Okay, so Pep hustles over in order to investigate the pylon alongside Urt. The DC is 14, Urt. You may roll one more investigation, and Pep can also roll her own check.
All right. I got Pep's sheet up. Urt, you got to roll better, man. All right.
Urt's gonna...
Oh,
God.
That's a natural 2 for Pep. Oh, boy.
Okay,
Urt is pretty certain this pylon isn't tracked.
Okay, as a last Hail Mary, Terry, you are a bard.
Yep. He'll give Urt a guidance.
Okay.
A little bardic inspiration. He just walks over and goes, "I swear, he said it's on there. Look again." And like kind of slaps the back of his head for a bardic inspiration.
Okay, what is the bardic inspiration dice?
I believe it's a D6. Let me just double check.
Level 1, D6, probably.
There's class. Yeah, you get a D6.
Okay, Urt. Oh, you rolled exactly enough. You find the little targeting tracker. It's this little blue gemstone that was just hiding flush on the runic pylon. It doesn't appear to be stuck on very hard.
Okay, I got this.
What do you do?
Zan places bets with Terry to see whether Urt hits it with his hammer or not.
Yeet.
Fair enough.
All right, Urt, you catapult the little targeting beacon off, and at that moment, Zan, you notice something in the distance.
What do my bird eyes see?
There is a town that you guys have been marching towards as your first real conquest. It's the place that all the soldiers are going to go in order to, make the proclamation of, okay, you're all under our command now. And in that town is a large tower. And from that tower, some streaks of light are starting to shine. And they're streaking up into the air on some fairly ballistic trajectories.
Zan turns back to the soldiers and said, I said we're leaving. Get out. And I point the way to go, and I tell them to move their little tushies that way.
And we're throwing the homing beacon in the opposite direction.
Yeah, it hits Zeta Squad. You always
Urt is just screaming at everyone to start pushing.
Are we taking Captain Raid's body or leaving him there?
Nah, we got his soul juice. We're good.
Zan will do a quick pat of Captain Raid just to make sure we didn't miss anything. But yeah, I'm going to leave the corpse.
Roll me a final perception check, Zan.
Okay. 20.
Okay, so Zan, you actually do find something in a hidden pocket. It seems to be some sort of, political symbol, the sort of thing that a political officer would use in order to identify himself to, to someone undercover.
I'm going to interrupt you. That was actually with Pep's sheet. With Zan, that would be a 24, if that changes things.
That does not change things.
Okay.
Little political insignia. I'm gonna hand it over to Terry.
Yeah, so I got the political insignia, and I'm going to flap over to Terry while everyone starts moving out, and pass it over to him and tell him, hey, we're getting out. Let's go. This is what you wanted, right?
That's we would write it down as a political insignia.
Yep.
All right.
All right, and then I am going to flip you over to another map.
Flip you. Oh, wonderful.
I don't like it.
Welcome to the chaos as things start happening rapidly. There are multiple forces crashing into the Empire's squads. A lot of people are screaming in fear and pain. And then, just as you guys are getting ready to run, meteors strike from above in the center of most of the remaining squads. Ert can see a hell of a lot of these soul pylons just fucking explode.
Oh, that is not good.
Earth's heart breaks with every pylon that gets destroyed.
No. You guys don't know how not good that is.
Would you like to explain?
Well, you know what makes the soul pylons solely?
The soul juice, quote unquote?
Yeah. Don't get that shit on you.
I don't intend to.
Speaking of which, some of the people who have recently been struck dead, either by enemy forces or by meteor showers, are getting back up. This might not be a good sign.
Ert strongly recommends that we get as far away from possible before the liches start showing up.
Okay, so the thing is that Pep has pointed you towards your ultimate goal. It is down to the south. It is the escape flag. The difficulty is that you guys have to make your way there through all this chaos.
All right. So can you describe to us, it looks like we have a river in front of us, yeah?
Yes, you will have to find some way of crossing it. Notably, there is a bridge across the river. It is currently in use, rather emphatically in use, by a hell of a lot of panicking soldiers.
Ert has his bridging materials with him.
Well, you're just
Which
going
is
to
to
throw a
say-
new one up?
Well, no, we have a bunch of mold earth. We're just gonna cross the damn river.
Ah, Mold Earth, that's fair. How wide is the river?
The river is about 20 feet wide.
Oh, we could do that with Mold Earth, yeah?
Oh yeah. I mean, if we got the crystal with us, it's not even hard.
Yep, you do still have the soul pylon. You managed to save it from getting hit by a fucking meteor.
Make a bridge. Let's go.
Okay, so, protagonist squad, you head down to the riverbank in order to create your own bridge, thus avoiding the aquatic force and the stampede. Let's see, go ahead and cast your Mold Earth cantrip so that everyone can see what it does.
But every single we just hand out like 15 of these runes and say, go for it, guys.
5-foot cube, yeah? That's dope.
We don't issue shovels. We issue mold earth runes.
Terry's whole thing is he's here to talk us out of trouble. If it's possible.
So, you have set up the bridge. This has taken some time in order to get in place. So, here is the thing. There are multiple enemy forces around you. How are you trying to evade notice?
I'd say, for one, we're definitely booking it across this bridge so we don't get stuck on the wrong side of the river. But I see this panicking squadron in front of us. That's a friendly, right? That's a friendly squadron?
That is a friendly squadron. But for right now, like before you are actively crossing the bridge, how are you avoiding all of the conflict happening around you?
Ert's busy with the bridge.
Hmm.
I'd say the bridge is a good way. Like, just using the bridge itself to cross over, we just avoided the stampede and the aquatic force. Yeah.
Yeah, but while we're bridging, what keeps them off our ass?
Okay. Zan's gonna have the. So is the CRT with us right now?
Only Pep is with you right now.
Only Pep is with us. Okay, that changes things a little bit. Zan's gonna ask for the squadron that's the rear guard, the group that's the rear guard, like the 20 or so dudes in the back, to kind of set up a shield wall facing back the way we came, and to ward off any interested parties coming from behind us while Ert works on making a way across forward.
Okay, the squadron soldiers are going to roll in order to do that then.
Cool. Don't screw this up. Hey, good. Excellent.
They set up a shield wall, and as they do, a set of goblin pirates descends upon them, trying to find some shiny stuff that they have and steal it. This is not exactly an attack. The actual attack comes a couple of seconds later when a bunch of arrows rain down. The goblin pirates decide that under a rain of arrows is not a good time to do some looting, and so they fuck off.
Fair.
The protagonist squad is free to advance. One soldier was injured in the fighting, which I will note down, but you have successfully managed to cross the river.
All right, and now we're with the panicking squadron?
Yes, you are in range of the panicking squadron, and the panicking squadron is, of course, panicking very hard. They have some undead on one end, there's some bombardment and magical fallout on another, there are enemy soldiers approaching from the south, and there's a cat, a really fucking weird cat next to them. They're not sure what the fuck is with that cat, but it's obviously unlucky.
Well, I guess Terry can help a little bit with recruiting this team and helping them calm down in order to join forces?
That is perfectly acceptable. Terry, roll me a persuasion.
I'm gonna use... Let me see, I might use Bardic Inspiration with this. No, I won't.
Oh, nice.
Okay, the panicking squadron is calmed down by Terry's words, and they give you a situation report. Basically, everything is fucked. The far sides of the battlefield seem to be occupied by demigods, in their own words.
Zan hears this and asks them for more information. What do you mean by demigods?
They point you over towards what appears to be a 16-foot tall mechanical titan that has a sword for an arm that is hewing people down in massive swaths.
Zan goes, oh, and starts heading south with the rest of the squadron.
All right.
We'd rather deal with the militia than with the Titan.
Ert is just screaming at everyone to keep the bold earth runes out, and we're sort of building a road through the battlefield.
Is the panicking squadron coming with us with that persuasion check?
The panicking squadron will accompany you some of the way, yes.
Cool.
Okay, so next up, you need to decide where to go. Are you going to deal with the local militia, or are you going to zoom off to the side, or are you going to try and meet up with even more of your own forces?
Oh, our situation is ours.
Yeah, I thought it was enemy. Okay, cool.
I think maybe we should try and get as many people to the escape route as possible.
Zan would typically agree with Terry, but Zan is more loyal to his squadron and notices that the Fubar situation guys are in between this giant 16-foot Titan golem thing and then what looks like a freaking Cyclops.
Yes, it is a Cyclops. It is also a 16-foot tall Cyclops who appears to be fighting with her bare hands. And she appears to be handily winning every single encounter, including when she's up against 100 people at once. At one point, you think she turns into a fist tornado.
So Zan's like, Terry, that's a wonderful, high quality idea right there. But then kind of puts his hand on top of Terry's head and kind of like tilts it to look at the Cyclops and say, I don't want to go that way. Let's avoid that way.
Terry then looks to Zan and his wings and goes, you can signal them.
Zan looks at his wings, flexes them a little bit, is like, "Oh, fine," and tells Terry, How about you guys? You lead the guys into that militia, try to make a breakthrough there, and I'll see if I can pull some of these soldiers our way.
And just that sounds good. A looks to the panicking squadron and goes, and I'm sure they can help us out.
Panicking Squadron is willing to help, even though they are very, very, very sure that they're all going to die.
Is just standing there next to the crystal and going, I think we're full, guys. Like, weapons free, dudes.
Okay, so Zan, you are heading over in order to signal the Fubar situation on which way to go.
Yeah.
What sort of role would you like to make in order to signal them?
Oh boy. I'd say it'd probably be something like a survival check to see if I can like make the right signals and lead them. So I'm overhead, like I have a better view of the terrain than they do, right? So maybe a survival check to kind of guide them through the terrain in the safest way possible to make sure they avoid the biggest threats.
Go ahead and roll that survival check.
Okay, big money, no whammies. Big money. That's a 22.
All right, the people in the Fubar situation see your signaling and actually respond to your suggestions. They get onto a slightly safer track, avoiding the fist tornado. The Cyclops looks incredibly disappointed by this.
Oh no. We've saved our men from being hit by a fist tornado. That's so sad.
I know, right?
Zan looks at the Cyclops and just draws an imaginary tear from his eye down his cheek as she looks disappointed and then flies away.
All right, and now it is time. You have the Panicking Squadron, the Fubar situation, and the Protagonist Squad, all versus the local militia. The local militia were expecting everyone to be significantly more panicked and off balance and without leadership than they actually were. This is not going to end well for them.
Good. Zan appreciates this.
Can Terry give them the option to stand down and let us pass?
I will allow Terry to roll me an intimidate check.
Intimidation. 16?
Would you like to give yourself bardic inspiration or let that stand?
I think I'll do the inspiration. Boop.
Hey, nice. That's a 20.
Okay, the local militia, seeing the odds, actually sets down their weapons and decides to surrender. With that, the Panicking Squadron, the Fubar situation, and the Protagonist Squad can all escape.
I like to think that the reason they surrendered is because they saw charging forward with the pylon, and Terry was like, move or you're going to get run over. And they're like, okay.
That thing does not stop.
Look, it's got some momentum.
Ain't no brakes on this train.
Honestly, Urt's big problem here is he wanted to see what he could do with a pocket of magical fallout.
It's like, sorry, we're not giving you a pocket of magical fallout. We are leaving.
Okay, and so you all end up at the escape point, which means that we are going to transition to the next map in just one moment.
Can we get some elevator music while we transition?
I can put you over on the holding page.
There's no we need elevator music, man. Oh man.
I know, I'm sorry.
Just put it in post.
Valid.
Just use the GoldenEye elevator music.
There you go.
Okay, you guys. So, we are here at the escape route. According to the CRT squad, there are no more enemy forces on the other side of this bridge. As soon as you are over, you are clear. There is just one problem that Zara informs you of. The bridge is occupied.
Occupied by who?
Zara points over, and there appears to be a tiefling woman sitting up next to a tree, taking a drink and adjusting some hand wraps. Zara recommends that you do not fight this strange, punchy woman, because, well, there's a reason why Zara has 1 hit point at the moment.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, she thought that she might be able to overpower the scrawny little girl, and she was wrong.
Zan looks at Zara and reminds Zara for the umpteenth time, we gave you a huge effing bow for a reason.
Zara says that she considered using it, but the tiefling woman looked like she really wanted to get into close combat, and it was kind of infectious.
Zan kind of shakes his head a little bit and is like, this is how we lost the other 3 guys. Come on.
Terry thinks for a minute and goes, so they want to fight. What about the giant one that turned into a fist tornado?
That's valid. Terry,
Wait,
why don't you go tell her about that?
Terry pauses for a minute and goes, only if I can tie a rope to my waist so if anything happens, you can pull me to safety.
Zan
Okay.
gets a really, really, really evil smile on his face, looks at Urt and says, Urt, you heard the elf. He wants you to tie him up.
Terry looks to Urt and goes, not you. Looks to Zan, not you. And he's gonna look to one of the basic soldiers and goes, you.
Me?
Yes.
This one-
I'm going to tie the rope around my own waist. And if something happens, like if the woman across the bridge tries to hit me, pull me back.
Okay. This soldier looks to you and then gives a hesitant salute and says, I'll do my very best, sir.
Zan just pats the soldier on the shoulder and says, That's the way, son. That's the way.
Okay, Terry, do you want to advance?
He advances to only halfway across the bridge.
You advance to halfway across the bridge, and the tiefling woman sets down her flagon of water and rushes up and says, Hi, hello, are you here to fight?
And Terry goes, no fights, but I've heard you've been looking for one.
Oh yeah, I've been looking for one for a long time. None of you guys have given me any sort of fight. You just go down in one punch. It's boring.
Well, I have seen, just points behind him, in that direction, there is one who can turn into a tornado of fists.
Terry, go ahead and roll me a persuasion with disadvantage.
Oh, damn.
Oh yes.
Shoot, okay,
Double nat 20? Yeah.
Come
we
on,
can
elf.
only hope. I'm just gonna roll persuasion, because it rolls twice for me.
Good.
Oh,
Disadvantage is a 20, so...
close enough, man. Good job.
Brenda puts a finger to her chin and says, Huh, but I thought I heard of that woman. Isn't she like Pratenna, the, devotee of the war god?
And just, even better, that would be an even match for you.
Well, I don't think that I'm gonna win. But on the other hand, it's boring to win all the time.
And just Terry, and you would learn valuable lessons.
Drenda then gets a wide smile on her face and moves in for a hug. The squadron soldier tries desperately to yank you away.
Zan is just telling Zara, hey, get your bow out.
Okay, Terry, you are jerked to the ground, dodging the hug. Drenda looks a little bit disappointed.
We just poor Terry's now just like rubbing his own rear end, just going, "Ow, sorry." Precautions. I'm not very strong, you see.
Drenda says that that's okay because you're the evil invading army.
It's just Terry getting himself back up and dusts himself off and just goes, "We're not here for a fight."
You're not? Then why are you invading?
For science.
That sounds like a really good reason to invade.
It is.
Drenda then pats her on the shoulder.
Urt dies. Oh,
And
shoot.
versus AC.
Oh, shit. I was joking.
How much damage did I take?
What is your AC?
Not
Good
19.
question. Not 19.
I think...
My 17.
Okay, Urt, you just took 13 damage. You are now unconscious.
Terry takes a step back and away off the bridge to give her room.
Zan just looks to Sarah, looks to Urt, looks to Zara, and is like, okay, if she doesn't move on right now, we got to take her down. Get ready.
Drenda then looks down at Urt and says, "Oh, another weak one. Okay, I'm gonna go fight the Fistnado lady. Bye."
Terry, just farewell. Okay, let's get going.
Urt is currently unconscious.
Terry just stares and looks to Zan and his crew and goes, Can one of you carry the dwarf?
Zan points to York. Hey, York.
York goes over and grabs up Ert.
And then Zan also asks Terry, hey, can you stabilize him so he doesn't, like, die while he's unconscious? Do you have anything that can do that?
Just Terry, I'm not that kind of bard.
All right. Well, I was just wondering if you had, like, any... He's not bleeding, I guess, because it's just...
Ert just insists that he's fine. He just needs some time for his spine to uncompress.
Terry's just gonna go to the squadron soldier and just go, we have a medic in the group, right?
The squadron soldier says, well, they didn't actually issue us a medic. They said we were just an expeditionary force.
You don't give medics... Zan walks over and just mouth agape at how dumb the Empire is, because, like, he already lost 3 of his guys to Empire being stupid. It's just like, you send in hundreds of soldiers and you don't send a single person with medical expertise?
They're rare. They had to be rationed out towards, 1 medic per 5 squads.
How hard is it to wrap bandages around people?
Terry's going to just say, no, hold on. We recruited 2 other squadrons. Let's hope there's a medic in one of those.
Fair enough.
Pep steps forward, not waiting for anyone else to induce more stupidity.
Thanks, Pep.
All right, and one moment as I get her medicine skill.
It's probably like a +20 or something like that. Ooh.
Oh, God.
It was an advantage, right? Because York was helping.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Ert might have a permanent crick in his shoulder.
One shoulder's just always lower than the other shoulder.
Ert is a hunchback now.
How's that different from normal?
Yeah, I was about to say, what do you mean now?
Ert had a very upright posture.
Okay, so you guys cross over the bridge with York still carrying Ert, our poor injured hero. And as all this is happening, you hear shouting from behind you, and you hear someone in exasperation scream, Drenda, why the hell are you fighting your own forces?
Zan looks over to Terry, gives him a thumbs up, and keeps walking.
Farron points out that we seem to have picked up some pursuers who have been pointed our way by a extremely friendly, punchy lady.
Terry, just no.
Where's the bulk of our squadron right now? Like, is it ahead of us? Is it like on the bridge still?
It is along with you. Your entire squadron has crossed the bridge by this point.
Zan remembers that I was about to ask Ert if he could knock the bridge down. How thick is the bridge? Not wide, but like how thick vertically is the bridge?
The bridge at its thickest point is about 2 feet thick. So you could totally mold earth to break the shit out of it.
Yeah, I just assigned a couple soldiers to mold earth the bridge away and make the bridge disappear.
You should go talk to them while it happens, and then fly over.
Yeah, okay. Zan's just flying overhead and waving as the bridge breaks.
Okay, so Zan, up in the air and waving. Did you notice that one of these guys has a bow?
Yeah, I have a bow too. If he shoots me, I shoot back.
We'll see about that.
Okay. Am I dead?
Wait, how far away is this guy?
That meets my AC.
That is the same number as your AC?
Correct. Reaction shield rune. That meets my AC again.
Oh my god.
Let me pop. And he missed.
Dodge, using your shield rune.
I mean, like, do I have to press the button for the shield rune? Really quick here, so you can see it. That was my reaction.
Okay, so Zan has used that reaction. The Knoll down there holding the bow grimaces in anger at this, and he assigns both of his squad mates to charge forward. They do not seem to be overly bothered by the broken bridge, namely because one of them looks aquatic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and this is probably gonna waste a spell slot. Oh well.
We have the pylon. You can just charge it up again.
Let's just dial it up to 11 right away. Let's scare the fuck out of Finn and use dissonant whispers.
Dissonant whispers. Okay. Ooh boy.
Oh boy.
Damn it!
What was the DC?
14.
Okay.
It's on the page.
Oh, I see that now.
Okay, so Terry has done his thing. You are just barely approaching consciousness, and you are not going to be able to help out on all this.
On a successful, the target takes half as much damage and doesn't move away.
Okay, so he does take a total of 7 damage. This does not look like it slowed him down at all. In fact, it looks like it pissed him off. All of them are moving forward. Isra has pulled out a crossbow. Quicken is readied his bow. And Finn appears to be charging through the river recklessly. He looks like he's in some sort of battle rage.
Yeah, Terry is just sitting there going, I was hoping that spell would work and scare him away. We should run.
As they were approaching, Zan wanted to take a couple shots at Finn as he was trying to cross, but he would keep with the soldiers. Like, he'd fly back with the soldiers and just take pot shots while he's up in the air, get distance from the two ranged guys, and just, like, fly above the squadron while shooting at Finn.
Okay, go ahead and roll the attacks.
All right. How many attacks do I get here?
Just 2.
Okay. Attack 1. Ooh, nat 1. Nice, nice.
Okay, so your bowstring snaps.
Oh, come on. It's 25%. Okay. Zan looks at his bow, rolls his eyes, says, Imperial equipment, man. And then just keeps flying back.
Okay, and so the party disengages from the threats.
Oh yeah, we're just running.
At which point, you emerge into the overworld. Welcome, everyone, to the campaign map. The protagonist squad is right here on square F6, and the situation that you just ran screaming from was on E5.
Foobar.
Yep. So, the question is where you guys want to go next, because you are now on the run. There are a lot of people who are very pissed off at you. Some of them are pretty seasoned adventurers, and there's no place that you know of that's currently safe. So the question is, where do you want to go? And that is a question that we will answer between sessions, because in the meantime, I have a report on how well you guys did on your escape. So, Squad casualties. There were a few casualties because you decided to pick a fight with the adventure squad just at the end there. However, you did also manage to get 2 other squadrons out of there, which is going to, right off the bat, increase your permanent manpower.
Nice.
Yay!
Okay, so you guys are at 60 manpower out of 100.
Oh, sweet.
And a lot of that is just injury, right?
Yes, minor injuries that will be seen to over time, especially if Pep is allowed to attend to people.
Pep is always allowed to attend to people.
Terry's first goal is to find a medic.
Speaking of which, you guys also have a resource called Runic Energy, which fuels your spells. You used quite a few cantrips and spells in order to get to where you were going. Thankfully, you did not get your pylon damaged or destroyed by the meteor strike, so kudos to you for that.
And then cantrips don't cost any energy, right?
Cantrips do not cost any energy when you use them yourselves. However, if you assign your entire squadron to all use cantrips at the same time, such as to make a land bridge, that's going to cost energy.
Okay.
So, you have 60 manpower and 65 runic energy. And with that, because of all the hot nonsense that has gone on, you guys are also going to level up from level 1 to level 2.
Yay!
Woohoo!
And we'll handle all that.
Yep. Yep, we'll hand that off screen. So do you want to give us a rundown of our area?
Okay, so all this is a coastal region. It doesn't look like it's heavily populated. However, there are some land reports from the CRT squad. You know, Combat Reconnaissance Team squad.
Yes.
So, Pep is the one to inform you of a lot of what's going on around here. There are several settlements nearby. They appear to be more concentrated down towards the south. There also seems to be a lot of strange equipment that she's never seen before that's coming from down south. Up north, the climate gets very harsh, and there are less towns, but if you're looking to hide somewhere and not get involved in any fights, that's the way to go. If you just head straight east, you'll come across a hell of a lot of settlements that all seem to be their own independent areas, and so you're likely going to have to do a whole lot of jurisdictional bullshit or dealing with bandit groups or something. According to Pep, this entire area is kind of a lawless land. The only thing that she's seen even close to resembling an authority is some sort of group calling itself the Patrol. And a large number of the people who were fighting in the battle today were members of the Patrol. So, probably want to avoid them. She's not sure where exactly they have bases, but she will do some scouting for you guys in order to figure out where you guys are going to end up in advance. According to Pep, the places that you guys can immediately access, those are the hexes G7, F8, and E7. G7 seems to be the one that is currently inhabited by a bunch of reserve troops from various forces. There's a large chaotic jumble of people there right now, and so you should be able to fit in relatively easily if you guys, can do a little bit of smooth talking. Pep looks directly at Terry at that.
Terry is not surprised.
On F8, there appear to be a lot of refugees from the conflict, either injured people or fleeing squadrons. And so that particular hex is going to involve a lot of desperate people trying to make the best of a bad situation. Up north, you have the option to head to the town that you guys were heading to before.
The one that all the meteors came out of?
Yeah, the one the meteors came out of. Pep
Wonderful.
does not recommend you do that. However, if you wanted to get some magical knowledge right off the bat, you might be able to swing it if you wanted to. Unfortunately, no avenue is really 100% safe, but the only thing that she's sure of right now is that the best direction to go is away.
All right.
Ert has an idea for getting rid of the refugees.
I cannot wait to hear it.
We're going to build them a road.
Oh, Zan thought that Ert meant turning him into flipping soul salsa.
I mean, we're going to have the pylon on.
It's just Terry just sitting there going, so the thing is powered by souls, and I just want to let you know, I know a little bit about the mainland. We might want to consider turning it off every once in a while.
Ert agrees. It's important to have a, cycle to these things. Got to take it down for repairs.
Not just for repairs.
It also gives off a lot of light.
Well, no. The mainland's a little iffy on this whole thing. Like, I know we're here to show them that this is the way, but we should control ourselves.
Ert doesn't get it.
Zan
But-
kind of butts in and says, I don't know if we're really trying to show them anything at this point. We're not really, is the Empire going to take us back after we left the scene?
That reminds me, he's gonna call Danwald and see if there's been any update.
Yeah, when you get Danwald on the line, he is panicking, if anything, even harder than before. You see, he's been fielding a lot of conflicting orders and reports, and the main thrust of it seems to be that High Command does not believe that things could have gone so bad so quickly. And so they are calling all of the troops that have filed reports about being struck by meteors as deserters and liars.
Just Terry sits there and goes, right. Danwald, if you could do me a little favor and not report my squadron's updates.
Danwald says that that's hardly going to be an issue because he's having difficulty reporting anyone's status right now. Apparently, there's some sort of person holding a prismatic rainbow in her hand that also has a camera crew, and they're just chewing through soldiers while trying to make the perfect entrance?
Right.
Ert is suddenly very interested.
Of course he is.
Okay. Danwald, you get somewhere safe. And if it's finding us to travel with us, please do so.
Denwald says that at the end of all this, he's not sure if anything can be regarded as safe anymore.
It'll currently be safer with us.
All right. And with that, we are going to end off our first session. And you guys will have to decide before the next session where exactly you're going to go.
All right.
Well, let's do a little pitching before we wrap up.
Okay.
Even though it's all going to be subject to change. But Ert's big idea is, if we make a town if we make a road connecting to either of the towns, that'll just funnel everyone away from us.
But we'll be building a road. We'll be slowed down building a road while we're trying to escape from the combat.
Ert insists that, we can build a road at about our normal walking pace.
Yeah, but also consider that's going to cost a lot of runic energy.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of people around here, and some of them are going to be assholes.
I hear they got a patrol for that.
Zan acknowledges Ert's idea and suggests that it be considered a backup plan.
Terry's idea is we should probably head either towards the refugee or the relief squads.
I agree with that. I think Mage Towers are out of the question here. So, just to refresh my memory, East was more independent towns and bandits and such, and then South was what again?
South there appears to be a lot more technology there, and there are a lot more organized settlements that seem to be working together.
Are there dwarves?
There may very well be dwarves.
Ert votes South.
Zan is considering South. He's just a little worried about how dangerous it might be with the organized bit. So we have 100 people under our command.
Correct.
Okay.
Terry thinks he can handle a more organized situation than he can panic.
Well, panic, you just use a sword, usually. That tends to sort out panic. But I would agree that you're our best chance with organized.
Well, Ert's going to do an inventory of how much food and water we can summon with our runes before we run out of juice.
All right. And that touches on the mechanics of runic energy. So the thing is that whenever you guys move a tile on the map, it will cost you 10 available energy. That is the first number, the 65 out of 80. So any tile, no matter where you're moving to, is going to cost at least that much. It might cost more if there are environmental factors. For example, if you're crossing a river and you want to put up a land bridge using your mold earth runes.
That would never happen. We'd never do that. That's a really dumb idea.
Never, never, never.
I just feel bad for the aquatic guys who are downstream.
I know, right? They were completely fucked. But anyway, so it will cost 10 base energy in order to move to any tile. And if you run out of energy, you can spend some time in the tile that you're currently on in order to recover some. You can get into fights, you can do some side quests, etc., etc. The CRT group is going to have some work for you guys soon because, unlike all of you, they're not refugees, and they're going to have some business to get up to. They're mercenaries. They can work for money.
That's my boys. That's my boys.
Okay, and so that is the basis of all this. All you guys got to do is decide where on the map you want to go, and then we will get to it next session. And so, for everyone joining us today, I hope that you enjoyed watching. Once again, let's say a quick hello and goodbye to everyone in the party. We, of course, have Shoggy, we have Becky, and we have Zach. And all of them are wonderful players and have indulged me in all of my wonderful RPG playing tendencies.
I'm not. I screw things up on purpose.
Exactly. We had a whole plan for how all this was going to go. You're going to use the mold earth runes to catapult someone into the fucking stratosphere, and then you never did.
Wanted a hug.
Oh, boy. All right, you guys. That is all for now. I will see you 2 weeks from now. We're doing this every other week. And so, I wish you all a wonderful evening, and I hope that you all have a good time. Take care, everyone, and we're cutting it there.
Bye
Later.
bye.